So we're in a lesson on the topic of Passover. We'll read selected excerpts. We are in the headline From Exile to Redemption, item 135. Rav, please.
Yes, we learn what it means to be in exile from spirituality. What does it mean to be in redemption? To come out of the exile from under the dominion of our ego to freedom. What is this freedom? We don't know what it is. We're born in the ego, developed in it for thousands of years. But now we have an opportunity. The opportunity to come out is shining. Shining on us. And let's hope that we'll be able to use it, to take advantage of it. And we would truly feel what it means to come out of the exile. How can we expand our vessels of reception from within our corporeal body to include all reality, so we would feel not only the reality that we're feeling now, but it's all connected, but we'll feel the true reality that we don't even feel now because we lack the ability to attain it right now. We are about to have this opportunity. Let's hope that this is what will happen to us. Let's try with all of our inner forces to come out of the exile into redemption.
Pesach,
Passover, selected excerpts from Exile to Redemption, 135. When the quality of Israel is in exile, the Creator is in exile with them too. Meaning that the desire to bestow is in exile, and the one to whom they want to bestow is in exile. As it is written about what Pharaoh said, "Who is the Lord that I should obey his voice?" That is, he denied the greatness of the Creator and did not allow to believe in the greatness of the Creator. So the quality of Israel is in exile within them. According to the above, we can interpret what we asked. Why does he say that it is as though Israel are saved and as though he is saved? That is, what is the connection between the redemption of Israel and the redemption of the Creator? According to the above, it follows that the exile of Israel and the exile of the Creator are the same, since when a person attains and feels the greatness of the Creator, the nations of the world have no control and they are annulled before Him. Hence, it follows that the whole exile is that we do not know His greatness.
We need to understand that we measure everything relative to the Creator, either exile from the Creator or the revelation of the Creator, relative to us. So we need to do all the exercises, to put in all the effort so that the Creator will be revealed in us, inside of us, in all of its essence, So we would feel him as ruling and filling the entire world.
Salam. What does it mean that the Creator is in exile with them? If the Creator is in exile with us, how will we escape exile?
This describes the process of the Exodus. And just like they were under the dominion of Pharaoh, there is still the dominion of Pharaoh, but the meaning of the Creator is gradually being revealed. He's taking them through their entire exodus from Egypt out. That's why it's written in this way. Meaning, they feel that gradually the control of their ego wanes and disappears, and this entire process develops until they understand and recognize the Creator is ruling all over the world more fully. And accordingly, they're drawn to Him, they follow Him, and they come out of from under the rule of Pharaoh, the rule of their ego. Natanya.
Rav,
how do we know or start this state where we just rely on the Creator, that we just ask Him to give us the force every moment to do what's right?
We can't plan anything because these things take place in utter darkness, as it's written, the darkness of Egypt, meaning there's no greater disconnection from reality in any of the instances we go through in our lives. Rather, it's the darkness of Egypt. And so we have no choice but follow the Creator's footsteps after the Creator, after this force that is about to pull us away from our ego more and more towards the force of bestowal of love and connection. And we need to follow Him, and also by ourselves to try to reinforce one another, support one another, and be drawn to that same state where we want to be above our egos.
Boker Tov Rav, Boker Tov Asiriya Olamit. ברשותך הרב.
Good morning, Rav, World 10. Rav, we read this excerpt, and we also gathered in the 10 yesterday and talked about it. And the sensation awakens is that the Creator accompanies us in the exile and everywhere. And it's really only what we connect between us, which you always told us that there is no light without a created being. That's the feeling that the Creator is a quality that we acquire. How do we cope with that and move forward with that? That it became something that is not tangible, but just emotional.
It's always been a feeling. We only feel our own feelings. And what's happening to us is what we feel is our lives are projected inside of us, inside our intellect and our feeling, and that's how we live. Now we have an opportunity to move to the true picture, not something that they project to us on purpose, but rather something what exists outside of us in the will to bestow. When we come out of the will to receive, we rise above it. And then in the will to bestow, which works outside of us, we begin to feel reality.
ברשותך,
This is the meaning of the next world.
בנוסף זה כאילו נוצר מצב שלמעשה אנחנו מוציאים מהגלות לא רק את עצמנו, מוציאים את הבורא מהגלות פתאום.
So in a sense, there's a state where we don't only take ourselves from the exile, but the Creator. So who are we working for? Well, the Creator is called Bo'u, come and see. What we see is what we reveal. It's all relative to us. We don't reveal something absolute outside of us. Hence, the Creator is certainly coming out of the exile with us, and He is starting to go through the entire path together with us, from Egypt all the way to the land of Israel. Thank you.
German 4.
Guten Morgen. Unsere Frage. Es steht geschrieben, das ganze Exil besteht darin, dass wir seine Größe nicht kennen. Wie können wir die Größe des Schöpfers erkennen?
It says, all of the exile is when you don't know His greatness. How can we come to know the greatness of the Creator without taking the pleasure of this greatness egoistically? Rav, we cannot. We can come to know something outside of us, either in our egoistic vessels, where we can feel the outer phenomena, but only ourselves, or we perform a restriction and a screen and reflected light, and we begin to feel what's outside of us objectively, how this is happening by itself outside of our ego. This is called the beginning of the exodus from Egypt, where the Pharaoh, the will to receive, our evil inclination, receive in order to receive, does not control us, but he allows us to move away from him and to begin to feel reality that is not depicted in the will to receive itself. And in this way, we are starting to come out. This is the meaning of to be a free people, free nation in our desire, in our land. And in this way, we gradually come out of Egypt.
136. When the Israel in him emerges from exile and is rewarded with redemption, the Creator too, who was covered from him during the exile because of the governance of the nations, now appears, and the greatness of the Creator becomes revealed. This is because now there's no longer a need for the tzimtzum and concealment, since the tzimtzum has been lifted from him, following the rule, to the extent that one wants to aim to bestow, to that extent the tzimtzum and concealment are removed from him. This is the meaning of the verse, we will sing in your salvation, and in that day the Lord will save Israel. It is written, will save as though Israel are saved, and as though he is saved. We'll read 136 again. When the Israel in him emerges from exile and is rewarded with redemption, the Creator too, who was covered from him during the exile because of the governance of the nations, now appears, and the greatness of the Creator becomes revealed. This is so because now there's no longer a need for the restriction and concealment, since the tzimtzum, the restriction, has been lifted from him. Following the rule, to the extent that one wants to aim to bestow, to that extent, the tzimtzum and concealment are removed from him. This is the meaning of the verse, "We will sing in your salvation, and in that day the Lord will save Israel." It is written, "will save," as though Israel are saved, and as though he is saved. We'll read 137. In the exile in Egypt, they obtained kelim, meaning a desire that the Creator will help them emerge from the exile. As we said above, that there is no light without a kli. For only when we pray a real prayer, when one sees that he cannot be saved, and only the Creator can help him, this is considered a real prayer. 137 again. In the exile in Egypt, they obtained kelim, meaning a desire that the Creator will help them emerge from the exile. As we said above, that there's no light without a kli. For only when we pray a real prayer, when one sees that he cannot be saved, and only the Creator can help him, this is considered a real prayer. In what way the Creator becomes revealed after we come out of exile?
The Creator is revealed in the Exodus from redemption, because He's connecting us, and through Him we feel the correct connections called
Turkiye 7.
The Exodus.
Selam sevgili Rav, selam sevgili dostlar. Sürgünde hissetsem de kibrimden.
Even if I feel sorrow and sadness of exile, I can't turn to the Creator because of my hubris and pride. How can I rise above that?
I didn't quite understand. Repeat, please.
Repeat, please.
She says that even though she feels sorrow in exile, she can't turn to the Creator because of pride. How to overcome pride?
More time will pass, and she'll understand that she has to ask of the Creator more and more, and truly annul before Him until He responds to her. All depends on the force of her pride. She will have to lower her head and ask from the Creator for anything that is needed in order to hear what He's demanding and to do what He's demanding. So first of all, work against the ego, against the pride. And sometimes this is very difficult.
How can we see in the 10 in our vessels the greatness of the Creator?
If we connect in order to ask of Him to show us His greatness, then within our question, He may reveal His greatness to us. And then we annul ourselves towards His greatness. This is called rising up to Him and incorporating ourselves in him. And in this incorporation, we start feeling who is our upper one, our host.
In this whole process, the main thing is to come out of Egypt is to think of others, of the friends. I know we're all thinking of the friends, and at least we put all the effort in it. We pray for each other to be able to connect, to receive forces, and constantly all the actions we're doing is thinking of others and creating this environment. And in this effort, negative thoughts pop up. Thoughts of myself, caring for myself. So this Pharaoh starts talking to me. And what happens is you more or less you push this Pharaoh away. Is that correct, pushing the Pharaoh away? How can you use it if you push him away, this force?
We'll see what we should do. There are many options, seemingly, but basically pushing away the will to receive, not letting it participate at all in this whole process.
If
we're capable of it. Well, we'll see. It's a process.
What happens, Rav, if you push it away? Because you have no balance there. We need to keep them both in. How do you keep those both forces in so that we can scrutinize? One side you're trying to do the good, and the other side that Pharaoh is... okay, you can say, thank you, Pharaoh. You know, you need to sort of build a relationship here to keep the balance. So how do you do this? Because you have you try to be positive here, so you say, you're nagging me, you know, get away, you Pharaoh, you know, he's pushing away. So how do you keep him in to do the...
No, you can't throw away one force and use the other, because then you won't know how to use it. Always, as created beings, we have to be between two forces, and one aids the other. Otherwise, we won't know where the north is, where the right direction is, where to advance to, etc. We always have to be in this emotion, which is between the two forces, between reception and bestowal, how much to receive, how much to bestow. And we have to measure these two things and to see to what extent they come to be in balance for the time being in the right way.
Do you have an let's say, advice? How do you do this? How do you do this, Rav, to keep this balance in there, to make the scrutiny, to keep them both in? How do you do it, Rav?
The way is called the middle line, where you don't erase the will to receive without making any calculation with respect to it, but rather the calculation you make is towards the will to bestow from the will to receive. That's why we are always, as we've learned, through the restriction, the screen, and the reflected light, you make the calculation, and only then you receive in order to bestow. And this is basically our exertion and our response for the Creator managing us. We try to be with Him in the middle line.
Can you pray, Rav, to keep the Pharaoh in? We're
caring about it. We, as you say correctly, we understand more and more that without Pharaoh we won't have the right grip on the Creator. Only about the connection between the two we find ourselves.
138. In the exile in Egypt, where it is written, "Remember that you were a slave in Egypt," it means that being a slave is so bad because there in Egypt, the people of Israel suffered. This is why the writing says, "Remember," meaning that we must remember the suffering we suffered there, and then it is possible to be happy about the redemption from Egypt.
Вы как-то говорили, чтобы на товарищей из других десяток видеть них его как десятку другую. Насколько это сейчас близко к нам? Я не понял вопроса.
You talked about having to look at the friends from other tens. How close is that?
I didn't understand the question. To see friends from other tens?
To see the friend as part of a different ten, to relate to him this way.
We have to accept them as a part of us, or what?
Пример, который дает другая десятка.
As an example that a different ten is giving, as a complete ten.
Насколько это нам сейчас актуально?
How relevant is it for us today?
Now, for us, it's relevant to try and see everyone together in this one big body, that we're all together moving forward, advancing towards the Creator, rising above our world to Him. And we want Him to pay more attention to us and help us and raise us towards our desires and thoughts and intentions, and in this way come closer to Him. And when we will be closer to Him in His hands, then we'll be able to ask for the others in order for Him to be able to raise them up too. They will rise because we will ask for them. And in this way, we can all rise to the degree of the Creator. And that is our task. And first of all, you. As the most advanced part in humanity. So I hope that during this week we'll be able to do it. We'll speak about all these things. And next week we'll implement it. Yes, Michael. So let's try and do this.
Sí, Rab, anteriormente usted dijo, uno nunca sabe dónde está su lugar. ¿A qué se refería?
Previously, you said that a person never knows his own place. What are you relating to Adam Rishon? Because the ten is our place.
It's all right, but a person doesn't know what his place is in the human framework, in the system of Adam Rishon. And that's what we have to discover.
Gracias, maestra.
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
How do you pray sincerely for the entire world Kli to be in your heart. How do you pray for that?
Я пытаюсь соединить в себе всех людей мира.
I try to connect all the people in the world in me, including my haters and enemies, whoever they may be, everyone, to connect everyone into this one essence, one gathering, to hug everyone and hug them towards me, and to see the Creator through it. What does it mean to look towards Him? It means
попытаться отдать ему, прилипнуть к нему.
It means to try and bestow towards Him, to give Him, to adhere to Him, that He will help everyone and raise everyone. He can raise everyone to one point, to that point where all creation started from. And there it should end. That will be as one man with one heart.
Это я хотел бы, конечно, увидеть. Или хотя бы каким-то образом.
That is what I'd like to see. Or at least in some way aid that.
Вот и все. Это моя молитва.
That's it. That's my prayer.
До урока в обед.
Be healthy. And I'll see you in the noon lesson. And together we will advance. We have special days coming ahead of us. We'll speak a lot about our redemption, about our coming out of our ego, of our connection and our closeness. And I hope that that is truly what's going to happen.
Quante volte ho tentato di vivere, no mondo che voleva solo di vivere, con la speranza che qualcosa di vero si nascondesse dentro questa realtà. Così alla stregua di un vagabondo ho incominciato a cercare nel mondo, in che mi son trovato qui con voi, il regalo più bello che ho. למען החי ורעי, למען החי ורעי, למען החי החי ורעי, הדבר לשלום בך, למען החי ורעי, למען החי ורעי, למען החי החי ורעי, הדבר לשלום בך.
Costruiremo tutti insieme un grande cuore, in grado solo di donare un grande amore. Insieme progetteremo, mai più lasciarci vorremmo. Brindiamo a questa nuova umanità. Insieme scopriremo il giorno dove l'amore è la costante del mondo. Il cuore dimora qui perché è in quell'amico che cammina con te.
למען החי ורעי, למען החי ורעי, למען החי החי ורעי, הדבר לשלום בך, למען החי ורעי, למען החי ורעי, l'anima che esisterà. La nazione porta la condizione che sveglierà tutta l'umanità. למען החי ורעי, למען החי ורעי, למען החי החי ורעי, הדבר השלום בא. למען החי ורעי, למען החי ורעי, למען החי החי ורעי, הדבר השלום בא. למען החי ורעי